and they've been nice.
This is the what do you call this one? It's a glycol
dehydrator station.
A glycol dehydration station,
and I believe they have captain tanks as well.
And they have brine tanks, I see.
Yep.
And then what's the name of it? What's the name of this place?
It's the now PBR.
Chief?
The Chief Glycol Dehydrator Station.
Chief Glycol Dehydrator Station. But what town are we in right here?
This is actually Wyoming County.
Wyoming County?
Wyoming County and Dallas Township. So Luzerne County, Wyoming County, and Dallas Township. If you look over there, this is what they did. They actually, because the residents of Dallas Township protested it so much, Vera, they put it just over the border because Wyoming County has no zoning.
Oh. So this is right across, kind of diagonally across from the Beaumont Inn on Route 309. And so we had an incident. Can I do an interview? Would you be able to explain what happened?
Sure.
This is Kim.
Hi, Vera.
Hi, and you're from what township?
I'm actually from Kingston Borough.
Okay.
So I'm a member of the Gas Drilling Awareness Coalition.
Okay.
Mainly stationed out of Dallas, but we do represent all of Luzerne County. And the Gas Drilling Awareness Coalition fought not to have this station right across the street from their elementary school. This is a PBR chief station, and because Wyoming County has no zoning, they took it just across the county line from Luzerne County into Wyoming County and had it passed and pushed through the system here.
And when was this open? When did it open?
This was commissioned about 6 weeks ago. And there was an incident about 2 weeks ago where there was loud noise, loud explosion went off, scared some farm animals here.
I heard about that, like October 1st it happened?
Yep. And they said that it was a malfunction of some piece of equipment, some safety piece of equipment.
And the malfunction caused some kind of an explosion?
It actually wasn't an explosion. They're saying that it didn't give any off-gassing, that it was merely a sound that scared, the residents, scared the farm animals. I don't think anyone clearly knows, but I believe
and scared people
the
too.
Gentleman who lived somewhere in this area saw smoke coming from the unit, but PBR has refused to acknowledge that actually took place.
Oh, so they're not acknowledging.
They're not acknowledging.
Is it under investigation at all?
It is. Yes.
And who's investigating? Do we know?
I believe it's the DEP.
DEP?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So
again,
it's good to know.
This is a difference between zoning and not zoning.
So there's no zoning here?
In Wyoming County.
You mean, is it like a rural area considered like what we have in Susquehanna County, no zoning?
Exactly.
And class 1, it's considered class 1? And we have a whole group of people here protesting this event, what's happened here. And you can see how close the homes are. We have a home there that looks like about maybe 500 feet from the facility. Did you want to speak also? Want to make any kind of a statement about what's going on here and why we're here? Or?
Well,
and this is Wendy?
I'm Wendy Lindley.
Hi.
And this is one more site. One more of what are becoming hundreds of sites, what could well become thousands of sites, where we are endeavoring to take a stand against not merely fracking, but all of the industrial infrastructure that goes with fracking. In this case, a dehydrator station, which is necessary for fracking. Were it not for the infrastructure, the dehydrator stations, the compressor stations, the transmission lines, the water withdrawals, the water impoundments, the deep injection wells, the widened roads, the chemical trucks, the water hauling trucks, were it not for all of that massive infrastructure,
yes,
fracking could not be done at all. Right? So I think that as the movement develops, it is more and more important that we take a stand at not just frac pads, but at all of these other sites, because without these, there's no fracking. Without fracking, well, we'd just all be a lot better off.
Now, there must be a pipeline there connected to that.
Yeah.
Do you know which pipeline is that? Is it?
That I'm not sure of.
So gas is going in there.
Right.
It's not the Transco unless it's the Tennessee line or El Paso or
could be that. Of that, I'm actually not. I'm not sure which line goes in there.
Well, it could be Tennessee, let's say. So they're getting gas. Gas is coming in possibly from our county, Susquehanna County, maybe going into here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, because the idea is to have as many centralized locations in order to make the gas transport ultimately to the global market, which is what this is really all about, as efficient and profitable as possible.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yep.
And we got some good signs here.
Yeah, we do.
I like this one, Planet Before Profits.
Yeah.
That's a new sign. We the people say Planet Before Profits.
Planet Before Profits. Yeah, that's awesome.
October2011.org. And this is October 15th, 2012, about 6 o'clock. So we're trying to figure out maybe what gas line is going into this, and it's Susquehanna County gas, and where else? Maybe Bradford County gas. What is coming through here? It's coming south,
I think it's Susquehanna County gas.
That's what I'm thinking,
I think it's
too.
coming, I want to say it's coming from Auburn. Ken Krupsha would know, though.
Kim? Yeah. And let's see what we got here. We've got some press here. Any of those are good, yeah?
Yeah,
we're going.
I'm not sure that it's coming from.
So this is Susquehanna County.
This is Susquehanna County.
Do you know what pipeline it is at this point?
It's a chief pipeline.
It's not like Tennessee. They have different names.
Well, what they're doing here is trying to connect into. They're cleaning it out so that they connect into the Transco in Dallas.
Transco in Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Transco pipeline is right by the Dallas. So
this is your
our backyard. So this is
our backyard is your backyard.
It's all the web.
Different impacts along the way.
So we're on Route 309, heavily traveled road. This is Wyoming County.
Ever in the state of Pennsylvania. It was like almost a year ago.
I'm sure we're coming back.
There wasn't any press. No press. Nothing.
I don't know. I don't think they.
Where are you?
Has time channel? Is that?
It's ours. Independent is Grant Times.
It is?
Take a
Laura-
step
Laura
forward,
Legier.
Deirdre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's our sister paper.
There's a trooper right behind you.
Is this the right away that you were?
Yeah, we're allowed to stand here on the shoulder of the road. Hi there. Peaceful protest. They told us another one.
Welcome today to welcome today to protest.
Today, any day. I think a lot of us spend a lot of our time dealing with the impacts of living with shell extraction. You know, Vera and I both live in Susquehanna County,
You
so
slice our tire,
it
And I'm
really
from
changes
Luzerne
life.
County, Citizens for
But today here, because today is a national day for call to action that Occupy Pipeline called for
Vera?
to try to body. You know, when you look at the recent development with the Department of Health, Dr. Avila, who has an MD, being ousted and replaced with a man who has an MBA. He's the director of the Pennsylvania Department of Health, and you see the director of our national, our state park systems, Mr. Nopek. Was it Nopek?
He just got forced out.
Being forced out because of the difference in philosophy. And then just last week we found out that he is going to allow the spreading of Marcellus and Rhine on our roads. Yesterday we just found out that somebody has a complaint about impact of foul water. That DEP has to send all the results to Crancer, to Secretary Crancer or Scott Perry, and they will make a determination of when or if ever to share those results with the homeowner. That's pretty outrageous.
Yes.
Outrageous.
So why
today's
are they
a good
running it by
day.
them? They're not experts. They're not scientists. That's all political. I want to know how Scott Perry survived going from a Republican administration, or a Democrat administration, to a Republican administration, and kept the same job. Almost nobody else does that. But of course, his 180-degree flip from what was going on in Demick right after the administration got elected, that might have helped out. And I talked to John
And actually, I would say that I think Craig and I have been told formally by DEP that we are not ever to communicate with them.
I actually took
directly. Yeah, I was told Colleen Connolly only, nobody else.
I was told that after the last public hearing for the Wyoming Central Compressor, and I was very respectful. And the next morning, I got an email from Colleen Connolly saying that it's been a department decision that you are not to have any form of communication directly, be it phone, email, anybody in the department except for Colleen Connolly. And I immediately CC'd everybody in DEP and the lawyer and said, is this legal?
If you guys want to ask questions, ask them why they're not testing public schools' water, especially within an area of drilling. How about restaurants? None. They will not test restaurants. Franklin Forks, classic example, Heavenly Angels. They refused. I asked them starting in March, are you testing the water since they have their neighbors all on water buffaloes there, replacement water? Zero. But guess what? We found out they did test them in May. They knew in June they were 5 times the level of arsenic and over the barium level. And they let that be hidden until August 22nd when they finally sent me an email saying that they were on top of the situation. They wouldn't answer the question. They wouldn't go test it. That's a different division. That's Safe Drinking Water Division. There's that Franklin Forks, Pennsylvania, Susquehanna County, right near where I live, a couple miles down the road. They've been under investigation by the DEP for a year and a half now for damage to their water. 11 months for the people in the forks themselves, but over a year and a half on well casing failures. There's another one too. How about farms? Did you know farms that produce food? It's a public water supply. They won't admit it, neither will they test it. Shelley Depew claims she didn't even know on February 15, 2011 that they had a well casing failure on her well on her own property. And she's the one that did Truthland. That's my neighbor, a mile from my house. She's claimed in public she had no idea that there was any kind of problem with a well on her own private property. How does that work? If I have a well on my own property, either the DEP or anybody considers that pertinent information to tell me when they have a casing failure or any kind of problem on my own property. It's like sovereign territory on the well sites. They don't have to tell anybody anything. That's ridiculous. And my property was damaged. They refused to admit it, the DEP. And so I got the fish and boat up there. Well, they filed 5 criminal complaints against Laser installing a pipeline on the property. And then DEP decided that would be embarrassing for them not to do it. So they jumped on board. I have documents in the 18-page right to know released. And guess what? When I called them up and said, great, you guys both found them guilty. Have them come and fix my property. No, we've already settled with them. We don't have anything for you, property owner. So, come on. What is that? You have damage. They find the damage. They fine them. They give them criminal complaint, and they resolve it, but they do not fix the problem. My creek is still full of bentonite clay. By the way, which we just found out, bentonite clay mixed with diesel.
And guess what? They're working in my backyard because Rockford is doing the pipeline installation for the Constitution pipeline right now, but right now what
company was fine?
Well, not Rockford. Laser Northeast. That was owned by Tom Karam, who used to be the CEO of Union Pacific Railroad, and then he owned Laser. He installed it for $150 million, a 33-mile pipeline from Friendsville, Pennsylvania, up to Windsor, New York, 33 miles. He spent $150 million. Thanks to Vera, it would have been about $65 million, but it cost him $150 million because Vera and her team got them to designate most of our area as wetlands and high-value watersheds. Then after he completed it, 3 days after it was running gas, he sold it to Williams for $750 million, 5 times the original cost. For the investors, they made some good money on that. We find that every time.
And now the pipeline has to be redone by Williams because of poor construction done by, what would be the companies?
Well, that would have been Rockford.
Rockford, and then the one before,
Southeastern Directional Drilling.
Southeastern Directional Drilling.
All kinds of stuff.
So Williams has to redo 21 miles in Susquehanna County. So what are we being exposed to? What kind of welding? What kind of construction? How much more are we at risk? Because they're using substandard quality, either materials or workers. And a lot of these companies are using non-union workers who are more substandard construction workers.
I'm finding all the information. The DEP would not release any information. I asked them for Phil and Shelley Depew's water test results on a farm that produces eggs and milk. They had nothing for me. So I went on EID's site, and they had the information right. EID had their test results pre-drilling and post. Energy in Depth Northeast. Yeah, it's a pro-drilling website, but they had the information for me. They also make all kinds of claims. It's kind of fun. I go on there just because they usually have information that I can utilize. I also found out that Chesapeake had 1.8 million acres leased. That was their Northeast leasing in the Marcellus Shale. They sold 1/3 interest to Statoil. How much? Hydrostat Oil, S-T-A-T-O-I-L. They're out of Houston, Texas. That is not a Norwegian company. That's the
Hi, Deidre. Good. How's it going?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. No problem. Hi, Wendy.
Hey.
We got this going here. We got protesting, placards, bring attention to the Class 1 classification of these compressor stations, dehydration stations, and pipelines that are now in the middle of all kinds of homes. Look at all this area here. And near a heavily traveled roadway. So if there's any leaks in this construction, any leaks that will then eventually cause an explosion, there will be a real mess to deal with. And I can ask Rebecca about that.
They flipped the shield down below us.
Hey, buddy.
Hi.
What's Craigslist? S-T-E-P-H. And your friend too.
Kim.
Do you have a card or anything?
I just need the last one to the tall gentleman with the cap, the plaid shirt cap. What's his name?
I was just up that way. I love it up there.
That's great.
I want to move up there. You know, it's so beautiful. You have to protect it. Don't let this crap.
Oh, yes. Citizen's Voice.
Oh, Citizen's Voice.
I think you have my contact info, but I can write it down for you anyway. Elizabeth Scrap.
Oh, okay.
We've met before.
Yeah.
In fact, do you have my email?
I do, I'm sure.
And we actually have people from Ithaca, New York who came down.
Oh, yes, hi
They
there.
see that this is all connected.
Hi.
Joanne.
Oh, Joanne, hi. I didn't recognize you. No, you look a little different compared to the what I see.
Paula Dennis.
Sapola. You came down, thank you. Can you explain at some point, you know, what the risk zone is? What do you call that? If there's a leak here and there's a pipeline explosion, what do you call that?
It's called, well, I'm not, the high consequence area.
High consequence area, because this is all class 1, right?
This is class 1, and high consequence area,
Get the lighting.
explained by Alex Dankanich, who is from the Pipeline Hazardous Materials Safety Agency, which is a federal agency.
Right.
He told me that class 1 actually, that HCA, high consequence area, refers to class 1 areas, and that class 1 areas have less, there's some safety, there's a safety coefficient that the federal government requires for pipelines in each class, and it's the lowest safety coefficient in class 1.
Right, because if there's a leak here and there's an explosion, it might go as far as what, 1 mile, half a mile? What do you think?
That's the potential impact.
Potential impact radius. What do you think? What would you estimate on this one?
I don't know. I'd have to know the radius of the pipeline and the pressure of the gas.
But it could be, let's say, even approximation.
I would say probably 800 feet.
800 feet or more.
I don't know.
That could be in consequence of an explosion. Kim might know.
Yeah.
Hi there. Hi,
Where
Steve.
did Hillary go?
Well, these got some kind of workers here. They got their jackets here.
Yeah, hang on. I want to take a picture with you and Rebecca. Okay, hang on. Ava, turn your sign. Turn your sign. Ava.
Ava.
Ava. Ready? Thank you.
Air pollution is not the solution. Huh?
Where did Hillary Acton go?
She's somewhere here. Let's see. She was here. Over here on the other end. She's at the other end. Hi, Deidre. Thanks for coming. Would you like to make a statement, or how do you feel this?
I feel like we're not fighting enough, we're not speaking up enough. I've had people all over the country asking me where we are and why we've been so silent lately.
That we've been quiet, too quiet?
Asking me when Pennsylvania's going to rise up.
I know.
My statement. Say something. If you see something, say something.
Right, that's right. Well, we're waiting for the mass revolution here. People standing up for their health, their safety, their well-being. So we'll see what it takes.
Everyone anywhere in Pennsylvania has some sort of personal connection to the gas point, so everybody has a reason to stand up against it at this point. So hopefully, you know, we'll start doing that.
Yes.
But here we are.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. See if we get this group here. Hi there. Hey. Hey, Jay. Hey, Aubrey.
I am.
Good. How's it going? We're here. You're here to encourage renewable energy. And we want to keep encouraging that.
Tight gas hillbillies. Let me tell you of a story about a man named Dick. He held some closed-door sessions that'll make the public sick. He took off one day just a fracking for some crude, and up through the ground came his troubling dude. Tight gas, that is. Neo Gold. Cheney's tea. Well, before y'all know it, old Dick's a billionaire. Nearly broke Halliburton to give him quite a scare. So he fashioned all the politics to see his vision through. And now all our lands are about to get screwed. Soiled, that is, cesspools, land scarred. Now's the time to say goodbye to Dick and all his crew. We have to stop them in their tracks before we all turn blue. It's time to uninvite this cuss from this vicinity. Or we'll all become the owners of the land of misery. Y'all go away now, you hear?
Thank you, that was great. And this is what we're dealing with. These are a number of the toxins that are coming out of this dehydration station and other compressor stations. It's a Pandora's box.
There's some morons up there. Look, he's got his red car. It's the Pinkerton Man!
Oh, that's
Hi, Joan. Good. Joanne, right?
Yes.
Would you like to make a statement or tell us why you're here? And
well, I came down from Dryden, New York, and we have a ban in Dryden because of things like this. And I wanted to lend a hand to my peeps in Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Whose rights are being annihilated. Just like a pipeline would burst and annihilate who live around it, our rights are being annihilated. They call this pipeline the Constitution. And I think that's a slap in the face to everyone who knows
yes.
what pipelines are doing to our country, to our future, to our health, to our nation. And the American public really needs to understand that companies that are foreign vested and also foreign companies are chains in Canada, throwing Americans off of their own property, enacting eminent domain for private profits of a foreign company, and it's got to stop. And unless we stand up together in every state in this nation, we're not going to last much longer, and that is a fact. And under the leadership that we have in our government right now, in states, local, and especially our federal government and our Congress, the American public's hands are tied. This is our last resort. It is our right to protest, and because we protest, we're thrown in jail. So I really appreciate everybody who comes out here and holds a sign, because I think it takes more courage now to hold a sign than it does a gun.
Thank you. Thanks, Joanne. Thanks for coming and supporting us.
You are welcome.
And
we wondered if you were going to be here.
Yeah, we made it, yeah. This is the unconstitutional pipeline that many New Yorkers and some Pennsylvania people are working to stop from going into New York and even in Pennsylvania.
You know, 2-3 weeks anyway. So why did you guys been told about this little thing about the National Pipeline Day? Is that the deal? Supposedly there's a lot of other demonstrations going all over the country. So I guess this is our little demonstration. They wanted to do it in a place at least that they have some traffic so they can see our signs and stuff. So. And from what I see, it looks like it's happening.
Quite a diverse turnout too. I noticed people from all over the place.
Yeah, we have a young lady from Ithaca who drove all the way here.
What do you see about making a difference fight against? First of all, what is it that you're fighting and can you make a difference?
We can all make a difference. And say what we're fighting is to try to mitigate a little bit the exploitative nature of this industry. all these demonstrations is basically making the public aware of how bad it can become. My personal view of this is that I can't understand how an area that got ravaged with coal will let it do it again. Let this happen again. And it's we figured a little bit over time. It's not going to happen overnight. This is it's going to be for the long haul. And as long as we keep, given the other aspect of this unconventional gas drilling industry. And by the way, it's not that it's necessarily bad, but they could do better. And I know they can do better. And they know they can do better. The only problem is that it'll be more expensive. And the way things are working out worldwide, natural gas is now turning into a glut. And the big worry that they have is that the market may ultimately just fall over. My worry is that all these things that we have here does have an impact on our health and our children. And it's not just an immediate impact. My biggest worry is the long-term impact. Just like it happened with the coal, we started getting a lot more cancers coming in. We get a lot more the coal miners and pneumoconiosis with the bad COPD that killed thousands of people, many of them untold. My fear is that this may happen again. And at least as long as we know, as long as we get the public aware, we would, I think we've done our job.
And this is surrounded by homes, so there's families there, children are there. So what are the impacts even to children and families with all the toxins? Aren't there all kinds of emissions from this glycol dehydration station?
The problem is that what the federal government stated in the 70s and early 80s as what they thought were adequate levels may not be adequate anymore.
Right.
And nobody has done any studies to really figure out what is the minimum that we should expect. So all the companies just say, well, I'll just take a look at what the federal government tells me or what the state government tells me, and I'll just stay just underneath and try to make it as profitable as we can for them. Yes, there are going to be some emissions from time to time. Their thought is that it's only a very small amount compared to how much actually is going to flow through there. And they think that the risk is minuscule. Well, for me, the risk of one person is way too much.
Way too much, right? And your name again is?
Alfonso Rodriguez.
And your specialty?
I'm a nephrologist. I'm a kidney specialist.
Kidney specialist. And
so you have to deal with a lot of water issues. That's why I'm so passionate about this, because I know what water can, how bad water can actually impact the health of many patients. I mean, a few years ago, something as simple as putting alum into the water supply down in Wilkes-Barre, when we had all those blizzards and all that, to try to keep the water clear, it made several of our patients develop aluminum dementia. And we had to use protocols that involve drugs that are very hard on the system. And I think we had 1 or 2 people who passed away from that. It was so bad. Now, once we come to that stage, now the water, the Department of Public Works lets us know when they're going to do that, so we could make further adjustments. And what we've done is that through the years, we've actually added more safeguards to the dialysis unit to avoid that particular problem.
And where is your practice located?
In Wilkes-Barre. And we cover all the hospitals in Monroe County. So we go to all of them. We have 5 dialysis units around down here in the actually straddled in the Susquehanna River and stuff. So.
Forgive my ignorance, but somebody said that you're the person who filed.
Yes.
What is it?
The gag order, medical gag order and active.
Oh, right, you filed that.
Filed against to lift the gag order, or what?
Well, the problem with the gag order was that it's too vague, and it includes a confidentiality clause that does not actually tell us what's involved in it, how long is it, how strict is it. And the biggest problem is that it only safeguards the company or the gas companies, not the patient. We already have to safeguards. I have to worry about HIPAA regulations, federal. I have to worry about my own Hippocratic oath that we swear to everything when we finish medical school. So there's plenty of safeguards already built in. The worry is that we would use some of this information and disseminate it without any control. And that's really not what we're aiming for. We like the fact that they're willing to give us a list of all the agents. So far, they've been insulted. They haven't done that. And you know, it's a complicated enough situation when you have to think about all the other factors that may interfere with the health of not only the workers here, but also the population at large. I was wondering why you need an extra step. Why can't I use that information and give it to, for example, the Poison Control Center? According to those two little paragraphs in the 175-page long act, and I tried to get in touch with the Pennsylvania Medical Society, with the Pennsylvania Medical Board. They have no idea how to handle this. So I said, so why have it on the board?
So you are restricted with Act 13. You feel restricted more than ever in disseminating information to your patients and to whomever?
Yes, because I can't tell my colleagues if there's any problem, that if I suspect there's a problem. And what makes it even tougher is that, to be truthful, we don't know enough about all these chemicals and how they'll affect in the short term and the long term. We have an idea. You can read all the anecdotal studies and whatever reports you get from the federal government, but you really don't understand on a patient-to-patient basis how that's going to impact. But we are going to need more studies. We are going to need a registry. And one of the things they did when they passed the act was get rid of the registry. Supposedly fun. They said, well, that's kind of bad. Okay, why do that?
Why are they doing that? Why do you think they would do such a thing?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I think it was a late move, I guess. Before they, not all the people who actually voted for or against it knew of that particular step.
What was it that you filed?
The what?
What was it that you filed regarding Act 13?
Well, we filed we wanted them to take it out, to amend it.
And where is that now?
Right now, well, we filed in federal court because we didn't think that the state courts would not be biased enough to do that. And the surprise that I had is that I'm not the only one who actually has discovered that particular problem. There are 13 other states in the country that actually also have a very similar law in their similar gag order in their oil and gas acts. That was a big surprise to me. I thought this is I'm just trying to change a couple of paragraphs. And then I find out, oh, well, Ohio, Arkansas, even Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma, they all have similar laws.
Is not anybody else doing a lawsuit besides you? Any other state, any other group, or any other individual?
I believe Ohio is also doing this as well. Although Ohio, what they managed to get was to get them to amend it, to change it a little bit. It's still kind of weak anyway. So we're waiting to find out what Pennsylvania wants to do with this now.
I see your lawsuit's pending.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we figured it will be months before. Yes, we actually filed it in Scranton.
In Scranton, and who is your attorney?
Paul Rossi from Harrisburg.
From Harrisburg.
Can you spell the last name?
His last name? R-O-S-S-I. He's a constitutional lawyer.
Constitutional lawyer?
Yep.
It's good.
And what we're saying is that's impinging on our First Amendment rights as well as our 14th Amendment ability to actually be able to do our business, basically. And
any other doctors on your lawsuit besides yourself?
So far, I'm the only one. I've asked other ones if they want to join, and the difficulty was that there was a prior suit earlier, and it was about to pan out in Pittsburgh. The only problem was they complained that they had no standing because they had no patients involved. We have a patient that was involved for a while, and we've tried to work with him.
And what county is your patient from?
He's actually from here, from Luzerne.
From
he
Luzerne?
He used to work as a trucker and was actually involved in a blowout.
He was in a blowout, so he had some health issues from the blowout?
We think so. We've been trying to work him up. Matter of fact, he was in the hospital for a long time. He ended up getting very, very difficult treatment and all that. He's still on hemodialysis, and we're still treating him.
So he's on dialysis, so his kidneys have been affected?
Oh, yeah.
By the blowout. But before that, he was healthy?
Before that, he was healthy. He just had hypertension.
Hypertension?
So the question is, can we call this that it was from the blowout? We don't know.
But now he's on dialysis?
Yes.
Well.
So we have to wait him out. We'll see. We're waiting for more information. We're treating him. Thank God he's been able to get through this. For a while, he had to be in plasmapheresis and all that, which is a more aggressive therapy. And God was kind with him and with us. So far, he's still doing okay.
Now, I'm from Susquehanna County, and we have doctors there that are treating patients that have problems with water changes near hydrofracking. And there's a Dr. Dana there treating patients, and they're giving them antibiotics for intestinal problems. Is there a way that you can contact Dr. Dana, see if he might be interested in joining your lawsuit?
Sure. I can speak to him. That's
and this is in Montrose, Pennsylvania, in the Endless Mountains Health System. Dr. Dana.
Good. Yeah, we're waiting to find out what happens with the registry that Geisinger, Guthrie, and Susquehanna County is supposed to be doing over the next few years.
Do you have a card with you I can give to Dr. Dana even?
Yes, that's right. And
that he can contact you if he feels he would like to join the lawsuit.
And we had I had a chance to speak to the people who are actually doing the study, which is very nice because, but unfortunately what they're planning to do is look at 5 years back and then work, because they have the EPIC system, which is an electronic medical record, so they can gather a lot of information very quickly. And we're trying to see, they're still trying to figure out how they're going to actually address this issue.
We've got a report. Well, we've got a guy over here from Texas. I guess he's working for part of it. He's down here talking to us now.
Now, who's doing the study, Dr. Rodriguez?
Geisinger in Danville.
Geisinger in Danville.
They have a public health group that's actually preparing and doing this registry.
A registry of what? People who are affected by gas drilling?
That's what they want to do. Now we'll find out what the actual outcome is going to be. So remember, a lot of the symptoms and signs you're going to see are very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very diffuse. They're not very, it's not very common. And you'll see the acute things going on first, asthma, cutaneous problems, but the one that occurs 5 or 6 years later on is the one that everybody worries about. That's when you get increased cancers, lymphomas, leukemias, So we're not sure. We're still trying to do the best we can to gather as much information as we can.
Can you be in contact, or are you in contact with other states who are ahead of the curve, who've been drilling for, let's say, 10 years, more than we have, and can you contact anybody there, any other physicians, to see what they're coming up with?
We can contact them, but the information that we get is not as good as we like it to be. We hear a lot about clusters and
all that.
But you need a large number of people to be able to do something that will give you, cause and effect. Cause and effect takes a lot of work.
It does. I can see that.
Years before we actually can figure that out.
And meanwhile, we're guinea pigs in the midst of this.
Yes, we are. And we're going to be, because we'll let them do that.
Right, and we're letting them do that, and we're at risk. All of us are at risk.
For now.
For now, because there's no real long-term cumulative studies that we can we really point to any study in the United States?
Not that I'm aware of. It's unfortunate. Clinics for this. Okay.
So absolutely nobody here ever hears about it.
Nobody hears about it.
So this is for the workers. They have special clinics for them. That's what you're hearing.
Many of these companies have special clinics just to deal with their problems.
To deal with their problems. So then we can't hear about it, or it doesn't leak out. We'll never hear about it.
I did a no-show search. The Occupational Safety and Health Agency.
To me, like they could get
According to them, there's only 2 or 3 episodes per year.
For what area?
They're talking nationwide.
Nationwide.
And I said, how can you do that?
Right.
Just thinking about somebody dropping a pipe on their toe is enough to get an OSHA inspection.
So
you don't hear that much about it.
You don't hear much about it. So they have their own ways of keeping things under wrap. As far as
the way they want it.
And that's the way they want it, as far as the industry, so we don't have to hear about all of the accidents and the illnesses based on exposure to whatever toxins are being emitted. What are the conditions here?
That's true. So we've got a long way to go and a lot of work to do.
A lot of work to make it transparent and to reveal what's actually going on.
It's not just being transparent, they just have to be responsible. It's, capitalism, the survival of the fittest. That's what happens.
And health is a much secondary consideration.
In a lot of places. Hello!
Introduce myself, Wendy. I know we're Facebook friends.
Here's the police. They're here to help us and give us some light. And it's getting dark. And they're here to watch us, and they allowed us to peacefully assemble here.
Crossing back over now?
Yes, we're going to start, yeah.
All right, I'll stay behind you until you get back over.
Thank you. Thanks for your help, and thanks for giving us some safety, and that we were able to do this protest peacefully and without a problem. And you're with what county?
Wyoming County.
Wyoming County.
Tunkhannock State Police, Corporal Betnar.
Thank you. Thank you, Corporal. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.